It's all well and good testing kit in the glorious LA sunshine, but what if you don't live the life of a billionaire vlogger? What if you're a regular Joe who doesn't have amazing cinematography skills? And worse, what if you're British, where the last blue sky was seen in 1982? We thought we'd put the GoPro Max through its paces in real-world terms, in the eyes of a small creator or a business, someone who isn't used to using production kit, to see if it's worthwhile them actually spending the money on it. Cool, it's chilly out. But first, this camera is causing issues online. It's a 360 camera. You might not have ever used one, or wanted to. Heck, I didn't want to until I saw this and some of its new features. Unlike most reviews out there, I'm going to spoil this video with a bit of conclusion at the start because there are too many videos comparing this to other cameras, and I don't think that's right. Stick about for the main conclusion at the end though. Yes, compare it to another 360 camera, that's fine, but to a phone or another GoPro, it's not quite right. It's almost made its own little box to fit in. This will never be the best GoPro. It will never be the best 360 camera in the world. But what we believe it to be is probably the most versatile camera ever made. Not one feature is exceptional, but so many of them are very, very good that for small creators, this might be the only camera you ever need to produce your own high quality vlog. In fact, when I totted up the value of the features in here, from things like the mic quality, stabilization, cameras and so on, to emulate it using the equivalent kit, you'd easily need to spend 10 times more than it costs, and you'd get pretty much the same standard. So we're going to review this not as the best 360 camera, but to ask the question, is it a good enough all-rounder to throw away or not need to invest in mics, gimbals, GoPros, and well, anything else? Because if you're a small creator and know how to educate or tell stories, you don't actually need the best, just something that's slick and makes production quicker and easier. We're also going to review it not knowing a huge deal about 360 video, but as people who might want to try and use it to make content more captivating. Basically, if you're new, inexperienced, and want to talk to camera, you're in the right place. So we'll start off with ease of use. GoPro have always made life easy for its users. With the Max, you have this screen, and it's become even easier. Changing modes is as simple as clicking the screen, and the setup process works with your smartphone, and it linked up the first time. Now, the last time I linked a phone to a GoPro, this did not happen, so thumbs up there. But let's face it, this is the boring stuff and the stuff you expect from tech these days. So number 2 is the 360 camera. You can shoot in 5.6K in 360, which from looking at the test footage is plenty of quality. Sure, there are better cameras out there, but with 70% of views on YouTube coming from mobile phones, watching videos on those tiny screens means you really do struggle to tell the difference between 1080p, 4K, 5K, and so on. And because YouTube compresses things anyway, it's more about how well it looks on the upload. Sure, I can sit in my 5K iMac and judge it, but unless you've got a zoom built into your eyeballs, for 70% of your viewers, they'll enjoy the experience. The fabulous thing about this camera is it's like owning 4 cameras. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a shot of 2 of us chatting. Firstly, me talking, angle 2, Greg talking, angle 3, a wide of us chatting, and angle 4, well, we can go crazy here if we like. In fact, because it's 360 video, in the edit, you can have as many angles as you like. So really, for small creators, you're not buying one camera, you're filling in the positions only a team of people used to be able to capture. Now, this isn't really new to 360 video, but it was new to me. I never rated 360 video because of the issues that other features in this review now solve, so it might inspire you too. I'm no 360 video pro, so I'm probably not best placed to go much deeper than this, but for vloggers, this opens up the door to a whole world of funky new options in the edit, which will enable you to set your own footage apart. And you know what? I think that's the point of this camera. It's not about being an amazing 360 video artist, but a creative who wants to have the ability to do things regular cameras, well, just can't. In the settings, you can change the frame rate between 24 and 30, and there's the option to shoot short bursts known as clips. You can hit record and make it so it can only film 15 seconds or 30-second videos. They claim this is perfect for sharing videos easily on social media. But at the end of this, I'm going to give my 2 cents on that. And if you're considering buying this, you'll really want to stick about for that. You can change the shutter speed too. Not knowing enough about 360 video, I left that on auto. Good review this, right? Really in-depth 360 video. I'm just being honest though, and even if I did explain it, I don't really want to add too much complexity and scare off those new and excited video creators. You can also change the ISO minimum value. So basically, it looks like it's on auto all the time, but if you set this at 6400, it won't dip below that. For those who have no idea what that is, it's basically keeping it brighter in darker situations. You can change the sharpness of the video too. I guess if you don't like the crisp GoPro look, then just turn this down. The sound option is basic enough. Record in 360 spherical stereo, which is very hard to say, or normal stereo. And you can turn on the wind reduction or leave it on auto. I say leave it on auto, why give yourself more work? And check out our in-depth microphone review to see how good that actually is, and you've got to check it out, wait to the end, or just watch it now if you don't like me. One thing I do love is the tiny world feature. It's just plain fun. I can imagine it's something that in a year down the line everyone's going to be sick to death of seeing, but it got comments straight away when I uploaded a test shot to my own personal Instagram, and I am all about the Insta love, girlfriend. Number 3, the regular GoPro inside the Max. Stop the video. I've seen no, don't actually stop. I've seen too many reviews moaning that the Max is not the camera to buy and you should buy the Hero 8 because the regular GoPro mode inside the Max isn't good enough. No, you're buying a 360 camera, not a regular camera. The fact that it has a regular option 2 is a bonus. I hasten to add, there is no 360 mode on the Hero 8. That's a big feature missing. There is nothing missing on the Max. Nothing! Sure, if you really want 4K and higher frame rates and hero mode for slow-mo and extreme stuff, and that's all you care about, don't buy this camera. See if I care. But using the regular hero mode, in the Max you can shoot 1080p at 60 frames per second or 1140p up to 60 frames per second in a 4:3 ratio. If you don't speak camera, that basically means HD and just above HD in a square for Instagram, basically. This allows you to do slow-mo still. Sure, it's not super slow, but I bet if you have a smartphone, you can shoot in 200 frames per second anyway on that. So just use that, stop complaining, all right? Just stop having a go. If filming everything in a high frame rate is really important for you, because of the type of videos you film, then yeah, sure, this might not be the best option. But keep watching, because when you see a few more of the features here, you might forget about those high frame rates. You might gone into Reformer. So the regular video mode gives you 4 options on camera width. Narrow, which is basically the most zoomed in, to max super view, which is very, very wide. All 4 of them work for selfies and for vlogging. Not everyone is a fan of the 13mm super wide. It's def a GoPro look, so you can take your pick, which is good. With this, you get the Max Hyper Smooth Stabilization too. More on that in a second. Now I want to tell you a secret. The last time I shot on a GoPro, it was the Hero 7, and I shot everything in 1080p. Yeah, I didn't use 4K, because I don't want to edit in 4K, because it takes longer. Sure, it's crisper, but when I uploaded the final video, someone literally said, wow, that's 4K. Of course, I lied, so I didn't think I was lazy, but 4K is not the be-all and end-all, and a lot of people can't actually tell the difference because their eyes suck. I still shoot on my GoPro 2 sometimes, and on a sunny day, a lot of people can't tell. And you know what? Not that many people watch videos in 4K on YouTube anyway. I don't think it's ever actually put my video I'm watching in 4K automatically. They want it to stream faster, so it's often not even in 1080p. Why is everyone so obsessed with 4K when nobody's watching it? Cute angry rabble of 4K lovers. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, now we have the reason you should buy this camera. The microphone. We have made a whole video, that's right, a whole video about this mic, testing it against a pro shotgun mic. Check out the card to watch it, or wait until the end. This mic is the reason you should buy this camera. Not the 360, not the GoPro, but the 6 tiny mics packed into it. Of course, you probably want the camera as well though. People will tolerate poor visuals. Just think of all those dodgy Instagram stories you lap up on a daily basis. If we want to learn or be entertained, we need to be able to hear what's being said clearly. And that's why this camera is not just for people who do extreme things or go to beautiful locations anymore. It's for anyone who wants to vlog. Here's a quick video to show you how we tested it against a pro mic in different situations. You gonna do it? Oh, there it is. This is the first test. Outside, natural conditions, and I'm gonna read a little poem. There once was a man from Peru who dreamt that he swallowed his shoe. He woke in the night to a bit of a fright, and he found out it was true. See what I mean? This tiny square is a production house in your pocket. stabilization. Just like the mic, we felt the stabilization deserved its own separate review too, because it's pretty flipping incredible. So watch it when it pops up at the end or in this card. I can never remember where they are. Check out a snippet of that with this quick comparison against the Ronin S gimbal. There's not a big difference at all. Oh, I just ruined that for you, didn't I? Just pretend I didn't say that and then watch it and then be like, wow, that's amazing. Oh, who'd have thought it? Okay, there you go. This is what I would call a brisk walk. My arm is killing me now. My GoPro arm's absolutely fine. It's loving life. I could do this all day. And now I'm going to run because I'm about to run out of steam in my arm just to see how they both do. So, which one's working best for selfie mode? And yeah, I'm losing control on here. Oh, I have a strong feeling the GoPro won that. So the mic, the camera, the stabilization are why you should buy this camera. Really, you can capture high quality vlogs in any condition thrown at you. But what else? Well, now we move on to this thing called time warp. Your time lapses now become hyperlapses. Sounds like something from Street Fighter. Record a 360 time warp, and in the edit, you can create some gorgeous sequences. It's like you stapled a camera to a bird buzzing around on acid. That's a weird one. Of course you need the right locations to film in. You can't polish a turd, but any road trip or simply walking down a city high street means you can turn your time lapses into an immersive and artistic experience. Although it helps, of course, if the street's super pretty. Time warps are a bonus for sure, one that can help tell a story and add funky b-roll to your vlogs. So yeah, quite like them really. Next up, pano photos. Yes, you can take photos too, but it's also a regular camera. 360 photos mean you can take photos that work on a VR headset and show your viewers a heck of a lot of information. The pano photos, when used properly, will turn group photos into epic shots and scenery into visual feasts. For me, these are nice to haves. For some, they might be key features, but I tend to find I forget that I have them and miss those magic moments. I don't think I've ever taken a photo on a GoPro. So now you have the quality, as expected, it's more rugged than a lumberjack in a flannel shirt. These little flaps at the bottom make adding it to the attachment super convenient and more comfortable to hold. But really, you need a pole attachment to get the 360 working at its best. Otherwise, you get a lot of arm in shot, which isn't great, unless you like film arms for a living. Oh, quick tip for using it. Get your pole right underneath it. Don't shoot at an angle. When you watch it back, you'll ruin your shots. Imagine the blind spot is underneath the camera, so keep it nice and flat. It's also waterproof, up to 5 meters too. Now, there's been a lot made around this. Apparently 360 underwater isn't quite there yet, so maybe keep it in regular mode when you go searching for the lost city of Atlantis. Other quick-fire features. Okay, here we go. The voice control works as well as the older models. You can preview the footage on your phone and control the camera from said phone, which means attaching it to a car bonnet or places out of reach makes activation really easy. You can go live to social media platforms, which is nice if you're in that sort of thing. You can share videos to social media at the touch of a button, and it comes with 2 little lens protectors and 2 see-through lens protectors, which I guarantee I will have lost by the time you get to the end of this video. But oh, yeah, there's one more thing we've not mentioned. And now we get to the reason you should not buy this camera. This is so Top Gear. They always like loved it and then just turn it around and went, oh, it's naff. It's not naff. To say I was crushed is an understatement. You might have noticed we're pretty enthusiastic about the GoPro Max. So here's the twist. Editing. If you just want to edit this on your phone, there is no issue here. In fact, it's pretty cool how it works, and I'm envious of you. I'd buy it if phone editing is your thing. You can move around the camera like you're in a sort of VR headset, then hit the keyframe button on the app, then move around again and hit the keyframe. And when you play it back, it will have animated the shot, which is pretty amazing. So for quick Instagram videos, it's boomtastic. However, I got a little carried away in excitement. My mind was racing at the thoughts of finally having a fully portable production vlogging unit. I really wanted this camera to replace my Sony a6500 Rode mic, Ronin gimbal, and add the new and exciting world of 360 to my videos. And you know what? It does all of those things. But the thing that really crushed me, and I mean it ruined my weekend, was the 6 hours it took to convert the files to work, to be able to edit them on Final Cut Pro. 6 hours for 20 files. I'm used to 20 files that don't need converting, and I can plop on my editing timeline whenever I like. The workflow to create editable files was to put them into the GoPro desktop app and then save them so that it export as MP4s. You can then edit these MP4s in Final Cut. Now, I totally get that these files are being stitched together to create an amazing world, but my iMac has edited thousands of videos and it very rarely struggles. Okay, looking at it, it's a 4-year-old Mac now, but it was spec'd up to the max then, so I either need to upgrade because tech has moved on a lot, or GoPro need to try and fix this and speed things up. I'm happy to wait half an hour, even an hour, but I had to individually export these files one by one. My computer crashed if I tried to do it in bulk. And that's why I mentioned earlier when we spoke about the clips feature. You see, the clips feature makes you shoot in 15 or 30-second bursts. It's GoPro's way of maybe getting around this issue, because when the clips went over 1 minute long, man, did it drag on. Okay, so the small video creators who this video has been specifically produced for might not use pro software to edit, and they can also edit 360 on a computer with the free GoPro software. But for me, I can edit so much more of a story, add more text, effects, and a creative spin to a video on Final Cut than the apps will allow me. So my option, put up with the pain and shoot shorter clips, or undo all of the savings made by not needing a gimbal or a pro mic anymore and buy a new iMac Pro. Ugh. Well, actually, come on, but they're really expensive. Unfortunately, like most people, we just don't have money coming out of our ears. Maybe one day, but for now, I'm going... What's a drachma? It's not even usable currency anymore. So we started this video mentioning this review is for novices out there, which means my problem probably isn't really relevant. The issue is that once you use the GoPro Max and you realise how easily high quality vlogging has become, you'll want to improve your content, push the boundaries and add more to the edit. So I couldn't not mention that the room for growth isn't there and that long export times could potentially ruin it. So is this the best option for small creators? Yes, be patient. But really, small creators probably can't afford the spend on massive editing powerhouses, so you might want to wait until they can fix that. Unless you're a phone editor, then man, you are one lucky motherfucker. If you want to see if this is better than a shotgun mic and better than a gimbal, then check out this playlist. And if this was helpful, hit like and subscribe. And basically, I've found a new respect for tech vloggers with just how much work goes into review. That was really tough. If you think GoPro should send us some free stuff, put it in the comments. Email them, call them. If you go in their offices and say, look, these guys need free stuff. So let's go.